The Paso Robles Youth Commission is in session. Well, they've actually been around since 2000, and now, 10 years later, this term's class is carrying on that tradition of connecting the students of Paso Robles High School with businesses, administrators, and politicians that run the city. I dropped by their latest meeting to check out a little of what goes on inside. It's a group that pulls together 12 of the brightest high schoolers who have an assortment of talents and interests that range from journalism to jazz band, in order to bridge the gap between students' understanding of how the town works and the town's understanding of students' needs.
You learn about what the city actually does for the youth. Like before, everyone's like students will just, think that, adults don't care. Like wineries are there for adults. There's nothing really for children, but they actually do put time and effort to plan and to organize and to do stuff to organize events for the kids.
The Paso Robles City Council actually created the group in 1999 with the help of current Recreational Services Manager Charlotte Gordon. They wanted to create a formal advisory committee made up completely of students to act as a direct link to the City Council. What they have now, a decade later, is a strong and active group of high schoolers that act as true liaisons to the city. Current 1st District Supervisor Frank Meacham was mayor of Paso Robles at the time of the commission's inception.
In 1998, when I was first elected to office in the city of Paso Robles as a city council member, I felt that one of the key ingredients to hearing from the community was missing, and that was the youth. We often would talk about things that we thought were the problems that were confronting our youth, but my feeling was that they would tell us exactly what those were as opposed to us thinking what we knew.
The reason the commission works so well as a connection between the two entities is because not only is every city council meeting attended and reported back on by one of the students, but every youth commission meeting is attended by the mayor himself and at least one other council member.
So the council said, well, you do this. It's up to you to put this together. They weren't that interested in it at the time, so I did. And I pulled together a number of community people that were interested in doing something along these lines. We got on conference calls with some of the other cities that have youth commissions and asked them what they did right, what they did wrong, and what they would do differently to enhance their program. Out of that, we gathered enough information to be able to start the process to establish the first youth commission.
Attending this meeting was, of course, Charlotte Gordon, Recreational Coordinator Vicki Jeffcoach, Administrative Assistant Judy O'Neill, and Councilman Nick Gilman. The mayor usually attends as well, but was unable to make it this time.
Well, I think it also helps establish good skills that are necessary for the future. I mean, you're just not going to learn everything you need to know in life from college. You do develop some skills along the way, and hey, a head start's always helpful.
A representative from the city also comes to every meeting to share a little bit about their profession and the education and experience it takes to make it in that field. This time, Mike Mazer showed up from the water department to talk about a certification program for any students interested in working with water for the city.
Well, you get informed about a lot of things, and I was a part of the leadership class at the high school for 4 years, so that connects really easily and weaves together really well, because then I can use that as a pedestal to broadcast it to the whole school, and it's just it's interesting to know what the city actually does, because before the youth commission I had no idea that they didn't need any of the stuff that they do, and it was a total shock.
Now, to get on the youth commission, a student doesn't already have to hold an official position of leadership at the school. All they must do is apply, and then they're interviewed by the city council itself before establishing a position within the group. They serve 2-year terms, and once they've run their time, they're welcome to reapply. Gordon says that most members are juniors and seniors, but that it's fabulous to watch a freshman be committed for the entire 4 years of high school. As long as a student has passion for their generation and a vision for the community, she says they're welcome to apply.
A friend on the newspaper staff, she told me about this, and she said, hey, we're having a meeting, and then eventually we're going to start interviewing and stuff. And so I went to the meeting, and it looked interesting, so I picked up an application, and then I did, a couple weeks later we did the interview in City Hall, and I got on as an alternate though, which just means I can't vote.
Being visionaries for the community, the students all have goals coming in, and then work to refine them into specific goals that the group can tackle as a whole. This year's goals are community service, advocacy, and events.
Biggest thing I can say is most people on the commission have a view or something that they feel very passionate about. Like for me, the anti-violence thing. Establish support early, like, because people, they're allowed to have different interests, they're allowed to have support for multiple things, but you really have to establish that. I had the misfortune of not really having anyone who agreed with me this year, and that's something I'm really going to be focusing on for next year, just getting a more solid support.
We had the very first youth commission and kicked it off. They were very ambitious, to say the least, established far too many goals, but they did accomplish some, and they set the groundwork for the youth commissions to follow. They did a great job, and now we're 10 years later and still going with the youth commission here.
As the school year comes to a close, the commission and its members are very excited about a few events they're taking part in to help meet some of those goals, including a kite fest in March, Earth Day April 17th, a fishing derby and master skate April 24th, and a teen hangout with a dodgeball tournament in June. And be sure to tune in to KPRL Monday, March 29th, as some of the Youth Commission members will be speaking from 12:30 to 1 about the events they have coming up and how you can be involved. To find out more about the Youth Commission, check the link on this page.